Hello, this is Janice from Space to Relax, and the video I'm about to show you is a replay of a live Qigong class which I taught this morning via Zoom. I'll be teaching these classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week for the duration of COVID-19 and until I can get back into my face-to-face acupuncture and Chinese medicine clinics. This video is suitable for those of you who are beginners and also anyone who might have a little bit more advanced Qigong training. I hope you enjoy it, and if you'd like to join me for the live classes, then please click the link which is next to this video. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then so you don't miss future videos that I upload here, just hit the red subscribe button. Today's lesson is following on from the lesson that we did on Tuesday, and Tuesday's lesson was all about using Qigong for grounding yourself, for getting more Qi and more energy into your legs, into your feet, and even down beyond that. So if you haven't watched that video yet, then you can follow along with that on the blog page of my website, which is spacetorelax.com, and you'll see that as one of the last videos. I posted the replay up there for you. So that would be a good exercise, a good sequence of Qigong little techniques and methods for you to start with, and then move on to this one. And this lesson today is all about using Qigong in order to deal with a wide variety of foot and ankle problems. And it's in response to a couple of people who've recently contacted me by email with things like plantar fasciitis, where they've got swelling and inflammation on the base of the foot, on the sole of the foot. It's very painful, it's stubborn, and it's tricky to get rid of, even with acupuncture. So there's a few Qigong exercises that can help with that. And also somebody else who contacted me with burning feet, somebody else with swollen feet, with fluid accumulating in the feet. And then other things like heel pain, ankle pain, swelling, from previous injuries, and, kind of aches and pains in the joints. There's a lot of little joints in the ankles and the feet. So when you find there's a lot of joints somewhere, this is often where the Qi can stagnate, where things narrow in terms of circulation. And then you almost end up with it's almost like a little dam that's blocking the flow of water in a river. You get this narrowing in the circulation of Qi and blood, and everything then backs up behind it. And that stagnation can cause swelling, it can cause inflammation, it can cause pain. And remember, with Qigong, what we're looking to do is to dilate that flow, dilate those energy channels, make them wider, make them bigger, so that everything can be more open and free-flowing as it passes through that area of your body. So this is what we're going to be doing for the feet today. So there were a number of little exercises that I put together, which if you did them every day might only take you 5 minutes once you put them together in a sequence. And if you followed these ones, if you started with the grounding exercise from Tuesday's live lesson and then followed with these ones, that would be perfect. And the way in which we can enable our health to come back into balance with regard to something like this, any kind of foot pain or discomfort, is just doing a little bit every day, rather than kind of going at it and saying, okay, right, once a week I'm going to do foot exercises and spend an hour doing that and then killing yourself with killing your feet so you really feel it the next day. What you want to do is just maybe 5 minutes a day, just focusing on this area, and that over time will gradually build up the strength and flexibility in your feet, as well as giving you that lovely open free flow of Qi and blood through the area. So let's get started just by being in your Qigong stance. So obviously, because we're talking about foot issues today, where you're contacting the ground with your feet is very important. So you want to be looking down at your feet and really making sure today that the feet are parallel. The big toes are pointing straight ahead, so you've got almost like these train tracks. They're like headlights pointing straight ahead, parallel. So the feet are not like this, sticking out to the sides, or 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and being kind of very casual in the way that you're standing. You want to ensure that your feet flat on the ground, about hip width distance apart, and the feet are parallel. Then also look down at your toes. And what I'd like you to do now is just pick up your toes. So you may have to just rock back slightly, shift the weight back onto your heels, and pick your toes up off the ground. You can keep the balls of the feet on the ground. And now try to spread your toes out as far as they'll go, away from each other. And then very slowly and deliberately plant your toes back on the ground. So you're creating a lovely wide base for your toes and for your whole foot to be in good contact with the ground. You've got a good grounding here, you've got good balance and contact with the ground. So just to bring yourself into the practice, we're going to start with some abdominal breathing. And as for Tuesday, if you were on Tuesday's class, you remember we practiced breathing in past dantian in the lower abdomen all the way down into the feet. So that's what I'd like you to be doing today. But just to begin with, you may want to just place one hand on your belly and just start by closing your eyes, closing your mouth, and breathing using your nose in and out through the nose, breathing in and out of dantian, so in this lower abdomen area, just to get yourself into the Qigong state, ready for your practice. So also, the tip of the tongue is resting against the back of the upper teeth, and the tongue body itself is resting against the roof of the mouth. So as you breathe in, feel the belly expand like blowing up a balloon. And as you breathe out, feeling the belly shrink back towards the spine. And just do 3 or 4 breaths like that, observing your breath and really thinking of the breath being smooth and soft and silent. No forcing, no struggling with the breath. Just easy flow. And now, the next time you breathe in, think of breathing all the way down, past dantian, into your feet. And then as you breathe out, breathe back up and out through the nostrils. So your attention now is just very gently focused on the feet. Don't concentrate too hard. You don't want to give yourself a headache by over-focusing. Just casual attention as you draw the chi and the breath down to the feet with each inhalation. And then with your mind, follow the exhalation back up through the legs, through dantian, through the center of the chest, and back up and out through the nostrils. And just keeping your eyes closed, keeping going with that for a few more breaths. And now opening your eyes so that you can see me. Keeping your mind on your feet. What I'd like you to do is just shift the weight to one side and just come up onto the ball of your foot of one of the feet. So you've got the ball of the foot in contact with the ground and the heel is lifted up off the ground. The other leg can be straight, or you can have the knee slightly bent, whichever is more comfortable for you. I find it's really helpful to have a straight leg for this because it's giving me more of a kind of a solid base and an anchor. So from here, again, just close your eyes. Focus on the ball of your foot and the contact with the ground. And now very slowly, just begin to circle around on the ball of the foot. Keeping the ball of the foot in contact with the ground, and you'll find that you have mobility here, you have movement in the ankle joint. You might find that the ankles start cracking a little bit. And try to make that circle as large as possible, focusing on that whole range of movement, like you're dialing around the face of a clock. Feeling into the ankle joint, just breathing normally using your abdominal breathing, and going as quickly or as slowly as you need to for this. And this can be, usually it's better if you go a little bit slower at first. You really get to feel into it. And now change the direction. So circling now in the opposite direction. And you might find this a little bit more difficult than the first direction, or you might find it easier, depending on the mobility, what's going on with your ankle joints. And now place the foot back down, open your eyes, just look down and check that your feet are still parallel. And now moving to the other side. So close the eyes and begin to circle. And then change the direction, keeping the mind in the feet and the ankles. And as you're doing this, you're thinking of everything opening up. You're unblocking any little blockages in the flow of chi or blood through the area that might be causing stiffness, discomfort, or pain. And of course, if anything does feel painful as you're doing this, then don't force yourself into the movement, just back off from it. You should feel a little bit of movement and flexibility and maybe a bit of a stretch, but no pain. And then place the foot back down, open the eyes, and just check that your feet are still parallel. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes because I've got a few different things to do here. Okay, next one. This is kind of a nice fun one, okay? So what I'd like you to do first of all is just come up onto the tips of your toes. You might need to use your hands to balance. Come up as high as you can. See if you can hold it. And then drop down. And now, as you come up, I'd like you to breathe in. And as you come down, I'd like you to breathe out. So inhale, coming up. Exhale, coming down. One more time, up, inhale, and down. And now this time, as you come up, you're thinking of lifting the chi, bringing everything up through the body. As you come down, now sinking the chi, sending everything down through your feet into the earth. And again, coming up, lifting the chi, and down, sinking and sending any waste chi, anything you don't want, into the earth. Coming up, and down. And now, close your eyes and see if you can do it. This is a bit harder to balance now. Coming up, I find it's really hard. And down. And up. And down. Breathing in, come up, one more time. And ridding anything you don't want in the feet down as you breathe out into the earth. And then just keep your eyes closed for a moment. Now opening the eyes. And now come and just stand on one leg. This is a really great practice for balance. I teach this to a group of seniors, and for seniors it's very important for them to be able to balance, so that because for them to have a fall can have huge consequences. They might break bones, end up in hospital. So it's very important that everybody of any age has good balance, but seniors in particular. And then swap to the other side. And what you should feel as you're lifting the leg here, you don't have to lift the knee up very high. What you're thinking of is the leg that you're standing on and the contact that that foot has with the ground. Really feeling, you probably will feel a little bit of a kind of achiness in the muscles of that leg as it's supporting the whole of your weight. And come back down. Now come back to the other leg. And now see if you can stand on tiptoes on one leg. This is hard as well. You'll need to use your hands to balance and come down. Breathe in, come up, and come down. Very hard for me to do it when I'm talking as well. One more time, come up, and down, and swap to the other side. Now for this, if you find this is difficult, what you might want to do until you really get your balance is just hold on to something. You can hold on to a table or a chair as long as it's really stable. Now come up, and you'll probably find you're stronger on one leg than the other. And down. So this is not easy now. And up, and down, but it really makes you focus on your feet. And up, and down. And then just relax, look down at your feet, make sure that they're planted nicely parallel in the ground. Okay, now, so in the last class for grounding, we went through the horse stance. We looked at doing the horse stance. So again, this is a stance that brings more chi, brings more energy into your legs and down into your feet. So for the horse stance, what I'd like you to do is just step wider than shoulder width distance apart. And if you want to review this stance, go over the lesson from 2 days ago, and you'll see that there in a lot more detail. Remember though, the most important thing is the feet are still parallel, so the big toes are still pointing forwards. And what you want to do is make sure that the knees go out over the feet, so they're not dropping in this way, and you're not leaning forwards this way. Keep your back straight, you're sinking down and pushing the knees out to the sides. So you can only, if you can only go a tiny little way, if you can only go this far, or even this far, just with a tiny bend in the knees, that's fine, as long as you feel a little bit more contact of the feet with the ground and a little bit more pressure here in the thighs. So you can go down as far as your own flexibility allows you to do. And what you can then do for this with the hands is you've got your shoulders nice and relaxed. You can either have the hands in a loose fist, just pull back with feeling this lovely broadness across the collarbones here, or you can just place one hand on top of the other over down here. Or you can just have the hands loosely hanging down by the sides, whatever is good for you. So I'm going to go like this. And what I want you to do now is come onto the ball of the foot. At the one foot, lifting the heel and down. And then the other side, up and down. Keep the tailbone tucked down, the pelvis tucked under so the back is flat. So this is really drawing attention into the legs and into the feet. Sending chi through the area. And just hold it for as long as is comfortable for you. Just one more time each side. And breathing normally, using your abdominal breath. And then coming up to step together. Okay, and you might just want to shake your legs out a little bit for now. Okay, the last one we're going to do is just a little bit of walking forwards. And some of you might have done this if you've done any Tai Chi before, and I am not at all a Tai Chi expert. I have not done any Tai Chi before, but it's part of Qigong as well, is to do some kind of walking, which will improve the flexibility of your Achilles tendons up the back from the heels, and also just that general mobility and flexibility in the foot. So what I'd like you to do is just come onto one, almost onto with all the weight on one leg. So there's nothing much on this one. I can lift this up really easily. And the leg that I'm standing on, the knee is slightly bent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant the heel just a little bit forward of me, not too far, so I don't have to lean forwards. Just plant the heel on the ground. And then I'm going to walk forwards. Hopefully you can see me on the screen here. So just plant my foot firmly on the ground. Now here, what I'm going to do is tuck my tailbone in, and I'm not going to elevate my body. I'm not going to straighten my legs. I'm going to keep this front knee bent and just move forwards and bring that one to join the other one. And then if you want to go back, you can go back the same way. So go back, but this time you're planting the ball of the foot with the knee bent and just shifting the weight back. Keeping the knees bent. And then going to the other side. So planting the heel, knee of the back leg is bent. You should really feel a lot of pressure here in the thighs. And then transfer the weight forward, keeping the knees bent, tailbone tucked under. And then coming to join the other foot. And then back again. And you can, when you get the hang of this, you can walk forwards for a few steps if you want. But if you watch how I do it, the wrong way to do this is to plant the heel forward and then come up. And you see how where the difference between the top of my head and the screen, come up and straighten and then just step. That's not giving you that lovely kind of chi flow going down into the legs. So when you're doing it, if you watch and I step forwards here, you'll see here, hopefully, my head, the difference between my head and the top of the screen, that distance stays more or less the same. See, I try not to come up. Hard to see it on the video, but you're keeping your height the same as you move forwards with the knees bent. And coming back. And now just look down at the feet. And again, lifting up the toes, planting them nice and solidly, spread them out, give yourself that lovely solid base. Close your eyes and come back to your breathing. Breathing in, the belly expands, just breathing into Dantian now. And breathing out, the belly shrinks back down towards the spine. And now, being aware of what you feel in the legs and the feet as you're breathing right now, observing the results of your practice. Do you feel any heat, any tingling, any achy sensations? You quite possibly do feel something like that because you've been working quite a lot with your legs and your feet in this short practice today. And then still with the eyes closed, bring your hands together and rub your palms until they get really hot. And then keeping the eyes closed, if you're wearing glasses, you might need to take them off. Place one palm over each eye, feeling the heat from your hands going into your eyes, out through the back of the eyes, into your mind, nourishing your mind, warming your mind. Keeping going with your abdominal breathing. And now giving your face a little rub, a little wash to bring yourself back into the room. And as you do that, slowly opening the eyes, shaking out the hands, shaking out the legs. And that is a small routine for using Qigong in order to bring more Qi and more blood flow into the feet in order to help the feet heal themselves if you have any issues going on, such as pain, discomfort, stiffness, any kind of lack of flexibility. So as always, if you have any questions about that, then please contact me. You can email me. My email is janice@spacetorelax.com, or you can contact me through the Facebook group, which is Space to Relax Qigong Group. And I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. It certainly brings more awareness to what's going on in our legs and our feet. We very often think about what's going on with our arms and our hands when we're practicing Qigong. So to be able to kind of pay a little bit more attention to that lower part of the body all the way down into the feet is a good thing. It's a really nice thing to be able to give you more of a sense of feeling grounded, as well as helping to relieve any pain or discomfort in that area over a period of time. So I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson, but for now, have a great day.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn some more Qigong from me, then you can do 3 things. The first thing is you can sign up for my free 3-part Qigong video series, which will be delivered to your email over the course of around a week. And you'll find the link to sign up for that on my homepage, on my website, which is spacetorelax.com. The second thing you can do is sign up and join me for the Zoom live classes, which are on Tuesday mornings and Thursday afternoons, and they'll be for the duration of COVID-19. So I'll put the link next to this video somewhere either below or above, so you can sign up and join me there. And the third thing you can do if you're watching this video on YouTube is hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. If you did enjoy this video, then please share it with your family and friends. Hopefully they'll join in and have some fun with practicing Qigong too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.